Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here, playing some more Pathfinder. It's time for the final scenario of Burnt Offerings, the Thistletop Delve. Let's go ahead and start this up. We'll take a look at the preview here because some of the scenario aspects here are a little bit tricky. And I should mention, I've been skipping the story this whole time. It's not because the writing's bad. It's actually really, really good. I recommend reading it when you play. It's like customized depending on which characters you're playing as, and you can get some cool Easter eggs and things. It's just as a matter of principle in my videos, I don't do story stuff. Anyway, the difficulty to acquire items or weapons is increased by 2. Really not that big of a deal. So don't really care too much about that. However, the villain's pretty tricky. We got a 12 and a 14. She deals 1d4 force damage to each character, so that's huge. The previous villain did 1d4 minus 1 fire damage to the character who encountered him. This is 1d4 force damage to everybody, and there's no way to avoid it, so it's actually kind of a big deal. Then, each blessing played increases the difficulty of the check by 2. Now, typically, most people are attacking with a d8 or a d10 or a d12, which on average do more than 2, so it's still worth it to play blessings. Don't, refrain from playing blessings just because of this, but it does make it harder to kill her. So that's pretty difficult villain. Then we have a henchman who actually deals fire damage. I mean, again, you can get lucky and roll a 1 on this and get 0, but this is actually kind of serious. So now there's a henchman as well as the villain who's dealing fire damage, and the check is pretty high as well. Also, some nice boobs. So then we take a look at the next henchman. This guy is actually kind of like a nice counterbalance to the previous one. The previous one is really tough. She deals damage. She has a high check. This is only a combat 10, and you actually get a little bonus for killing him. If you can make this check, then you can search the location deck for a boon, and then, just take it, basically. So, this is a little bonus. Now, Charisma 5 is a bit difficult to make, especially if you don't have Lem or Sione in your party. But, even if you're rolling just like a d6 for Charisma, you got a 1 in 3 chance of getting a free boon from the location deck, which is pretty cool. And then the rest of the henchmen are Goblin Raiders, which aren't that big of a deal. But so there's one tough henchman and a very, very difficult villain. On top of that, we got some pretty tough locations here. So, the Warrens, fan favorite here. When you encounter a monster, a random other monster is placed on top of a random open location deck. So that's always a, difficult thing to deal with. We have the Desecrated Vault, where undead have a 1 in 6 chance of being undefeated. Luckily, there aren't any undead henchmen here, so at least that's not an issue. The Deeper Dungeons have a really hard closing check, and the difficulty of combat checks is increased by 1 there. So, got some difficult stuff going on. However, we also have the Temple, which is really good. It's really important to remember the Temple, because basically, the Temple affects the whole scenario. Anytime anybody encounters a monster, they can always evade it if they discard 2 cards and they go to the Temple. So this is a good thing to do if you encounter the villain early on. You may want to throw away 2 cards so as not to fight the villain, and then you know which location the villain's in, even if you could reasonably kill the villain. But Nuali is a tough villain to just kill without spending resources, so it's not a bad idea to just pitch the 2 cards and keep her where she is. Now, Linny loves the Temple. There's no fighting there, and she can pick up the blessings really easily. We have the Thassalonian Dungeon, which is Ezrin's favorite spot. We got the Garrison, which is Sila's favorite spot. Amiri will go there as well. Those Deeper Dungeons is tricky because Amiri wants to go there to fight shit, but she's not as good at the closing location as Harsk is, so I'm going to go ahead and send Harsk there. Where will Amiri go? She'll probably go to the Goblin Fortress. It's only got 3 monsters, not 4, but she's good at the closing location. I guess we could also go to the Desecrated Vault, but she's not really good at that closing check either. So yeah, she's probably going to hang out at the fortress, and we'll send Mariziel to the throne room and just hope that I pick up a Crown of Charisma at some point. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start this party. Haven't really seen any need to change the turn order yet. It's been working out pretty well for me. It's a pretty difficult scenario. I remember when I played with 2 characters during the beta, I had a lot of hard times with this one. Even like on normal difficulty, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, we got 2 weapons in Amiri's hand, however, Sila has weapons as well, so there's no need for a handoff. And let's go ahead and go over to the Goblin Fortress and start plumbing its depths. Potion of Fortitude. This actually would not be a bad thing to pick up because there is a Fortitude check. Unfortunately, I'd have to spend like 2 blessings to feel good about it, which is really not worth it, so we're just going to go ahead and fail. I'm also going to spend the Troubadour. I really don't see myself needing the Charisma or Dexterity check here, so we'll just use them for an extra exploration. Ouch! Oh, man, that's a rough one. Well, not much you can do. I hope he doesn't roll a 4. That would cause me to dump my whole hand. Alright, he got a 3. That's not too much better. But, yeah, shit's gonna happen. So at least we should be able to kill him pretty easily. I just need a 4 on these dice. Yeah, I'm not going to shoot any arrows with Harsk. If I failed that, I'd just lose my longsword and it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I'd rather do that than spend any more resources. Well, that was rough. That was definitely scouts. Oh, and then I got the armor right after it. Damn. Would have loved to start with an armor in my hand. Okay, this is actually fine because I got the superior half plate. That will absorb all the damage even if he rolls a 4. So scouts, keeping an eye on the Thistletop. They're at the tops of 2 of the locations so far. And they did a number on my Barbarian. Luckily, my Paladin's a little bit better prepared. So let's just recharge this half plate and fight this guy with my magic weapon. Hang on a second. You know what? I don't need this fucking Warhammer. I'm just going to discard it because I don't need it. I don't need a Warhammer and a Bastard Sword, so I'm just going to use it up here while I can and then save the Bastard Sword for later. I will go ahead and explore with this blessing. Spending at least 1 blessing to explore is fine. Oh my god. Jeez, got some tough-ass monsters here. Alright. I definitely don't need a dagger and a dagger +1, so let's recharge it. I need to roll a 7 on these dice. It sucks if I lose my cure, but if I lose it, then I lose it. Alright, so luckily it's just a blessing. And there we go. Alright. Decent start. Maybe I can get a free scouting. Oh no! It's a flaming okay, we're at the garrison, so I will get to shoot for this later. But, yeah, that'd be nice to have. D8 +1, not that great at this point, honestly. But having it is really good because later on the fire check becomes important. So having that in your party somewhere is pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just charm person right away. This is a couple of things. It gives me... Damn it! Not an extra exploration. Banish this card to examine your location deck and shuffle it. Always such a grotesque disappointment. Mayor Kendra Deverin. Alright, well, I guess I'll do it. I don't know if there's any reason not to do it. Let's see if the villain's in here. Okay, well, it seems like the henchman was at the bottom, so I guess it's good that we're shuffling it, although the henchman could just as easily have been on top. We have crappy spell, crappy spell, crappy spell, crappy weapon, pretty bad. I mean, it's magic, so that's kind of good, I guess, but it's still not as good as armor. I just really don't like shields. And we have a pyro, which can be annoying. Okay, well, so now it all gets shuffled. Whoop-de-doo! Alright, it's a bit of a disappointing charm person there. And then there's fine traps. I don't think it's worth spending a blessing on this. I think that's what anyone can do, right, is spend a blessing. Maybe I'd spend a blessing of Torag, because it's on top, but Amiri has already lost her blessing of Torag. Oh, hey, Scylla has a blessing of Torag. Alright, this is worth it to recharge it and get an extra chance of a blessing. Hey, it actually 100% made the difference. Alright, so it's a crappy spell, but this is an extra exploration, and it's recharging her blessing. There's the Shield of Fire Resistance, so this would actually have been good to pick up because it's magic, and then I would get to explore again. But I think at this point, I don't have any free resources that I could spend. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and fail it, unfortunately. And I'm going to bust Shalelu and Osana to scout. And maybe explore. Oh yeah, that's definitely worth it. So Force Missile is I mean, it's a crappy spell, but it is an auto-acquire with my massive arcane powers, so that's an extra exploration, so we're really... Oh, no, it's not! Shit, okay, quick rules lesson. I screwed up. I actually screwed up really, really horribly. I should definitely not have discarded her, because basically, this is an encounter. It says you encounter the card, which is not the same as exploring, so since I found the card during an encounter, not an exploration, it's just wasted. So we're going to get rid of the Quarterstaff because I have a bunch of combat spells now that I've picked up the Force Missile. But I should have waited until my next turn. That would have given me a free exploration and I wouldn't have had to do anything. Okay. I wouldn't have to discard a card. I'm going to recharge the Amulet of Mighty Fist because I don't need it. And I'm trying to find the Crown of Charisma at some point here. Hopefully before I find the Henchman. Okay, so it's a tricky situation here. Do I keep the Troubadour? On the one hand, I want to keep exploring. But on the other hand, the Troubadour can help me close the location if I don't find the Crown of Charisma. So I'll hedge my bets. I'm going to recharge the armor, which is risky if I find the villain. But if I find the villain, I'm going to be evading her anyhow. So I feel like it's worth it. Crap, she has Augury. That's kind of annoying because there's only one monster here. So using it to try to find monsters is a little bit weak. I'm just going to go ahead and start exploring. I pretty much... I don't know if there's any blessing that has a higher divine check than 6 at this point, so I auto pick up pretty much all blessings. Let's do Callistria. Sleep. Well, not the greatest, unfortunately. Highest difficulty is 10 or lower, so it's not that likely to work. But we're just going to keep exploring. Alright, so, well, I could actually use sleep here. Let's think about this. I could fight him, of course. And that honestly seems better than just putting him back on top, because unless my next card is inflict, I'm going to be in the same exact situation. So we're just going to discard him to get a bonus to strength, reveal my animal to get that, and then we're going to go ahead and recharge a thing. So I need to roll a 7 on those 3 dice. Seems a bit loose. I don't have any more free resources to spend, so I'm just going to go ahead and play the Blessing of Pharasma. And that should be enough, and then the temple will close automatically. Keep in mind that when the temple is closed, you can still run away there. So just because it's closed doesn't mean that we can't evade the villain anymore. And having it closed is a good thing. So now Linny can go forth and use her augury, plus she's discarded a bunch of stuff, so cure is actually useful. And of course I roll the minimum. I am like a pro Grandmaster champion at rolling 1s on a d4 for cure. It's one of my little quirks. It's a hidden talent. I think if the world, like the fate of the world depended on it, I could probably do it. Okay, there's sleep and caltrops. Not the greatest, but we'll take it, I guess. Detect evil. Actually, wouldn't be bad to pick this up. I'd have a pretty high chance of finding evil below, so 50-50. All right, landed the 50-50. And I'm just going to banish this thing to use it. That's not a spell I'm going to keep. Hopefully there's a monster here. Damn, it's a codex. Well, that sucks. I was really hoping to find a fight because Blessing of Aristil is the blessing on tap, and I think like I got 1 or 2 people who are holding them. Okay, just 1, I guess. Amiri is holding it, so it would have been nice to find a fight. Am I really going to spend 2 blessings though? Sure, let's do it. Spend 1 blessing to throw past this codex, and then another one to hopefully find a monster. Come on. Skeleton Horde. Ah, you've got to be kidding me. Well, I guess I got my wish. Except it doesn't actually matter if I beat this thing or not, because my hand is empty now, and this thing is, whether I win or lose, it's getting banished. So I'm just going to roll. Oh, that was sad. That was a sad turn. Frickin' Skeleton Horde. Alright, so, do I use Blessing of Aristil here just to secure my check? Who else? Is there anyone who needs it more than I do? Sela should be fine. Actually, Sela needs it more than I do. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bury one of my armors. I don't need both armors. 1 is enough. So this should be good enough. And then I can always absorb the damage with the other armor if needed. Wow, that actually made the difference. So good job me. We'll do Bastard Sword. Recharge this thing to secure the check without having to throw a card off the top of her deck. And that actually might have made the difference again. Ezrin. So I could evade it, but I think this is a good time to use the Force Missile. So I'm practically guaranteed to kill this thing. I would have had to roll a 1-1-1 on everything. And the nice thing is that now I get to draw a card. Do I also get to use my expanded spellbook? Apparently not. It's not highlighted for some reason. Oh, hey, there we go. Yeah, and I'm totally going to pick this up. So I am beyond my hand limit right now, but I don't have to discard until the end of my turn. And then for Mariziel, kind of an interesting situation here. I could discard something just to, fish for that Crown of Charisma, but the Troubadour is close enough. So we're just going to go ahead and evade the skeleton since I don't need to kill them to win. And okay, that was that. Let's do a little bit of scouting. There's a monster, of course. All right, so this is actually a really heavily concentrated location now. 5 of the remaining 7 cards there are monsters. Zombie Giants. Alrighty. That's a little bit of a loose roll. I think Harsk should fire off one of his useless cards. And I need to roll a 7 here. That should be fine with a d12. Alright. I don't want to recharge away my leather armor because the villain does do that damage, so I'm going to hang on to the armor. And shoot, what did Sela... I forget what Sela did. Oh, Sela at the end of her turn, she found that flaming mace, so I don't need to pull her away. Hang on a second. I should scout the Warrens, shouldn't I, though? I really should probably do that. Because I need to make some progress on that location or I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So let's see if we can make some progress here. Allying Dart +1. Pretty crappy weapon. But we got it out of the way now. And she goes back to the garrison. Yeah, I should have actually done that on Amiri's first turn as well. Because we do need to make some kind of progress with the Warrens. Magic Shield. Yeah, not that great. Even I'd rather have a basic armor than a magic shield. I mean, yes, it's cool that you can, like, reveal it to reduce damage, but the fact that you can't bury it to reduce all damage is a big old pain. I've only spent one blessing so far. I will spend another one to keep on going here. Mace. I actually failed. Alright, that's fine, though. I don't care. And we're going to go ahead and recharge that magic shield. Oh, Elven Breastplate. Man, that's a good one. Oh, man. That's a really good card. Reveal it to reduce combat damage dealt to you by 2. I've definitely made good use of that. So, that's too bad that got taken away from me. But it'll be there, so if I happen to have extra time at the end of this scenario, I could plumb the depths of the garrison to get some of this stuff. Hey, there's a Goblin Raider. Alright, I don't think I need to use... Well, actually, the basic spells are all I've got, so I guess that's what we're using. And I'd have to... What are the odds here? 1 in 16 times 12 that I... No. Actually, if I rolled a 4, that would fail as well. But yeah, it's very, very, very good odds of success there. I'm not going to draw a card because my turn's about to end anyway, so I don't need to draw a card. I don't have anything that will do anything for me. I will recharge the Sage to secure my odds of success here. Only Snake Eyes would have failed. That's, what, 12 times 6? 1 in, like, 72 odds of failing. Alright, and we're in pretty good shape here. So, let's see, we closed a couple of locations already. There's no knowledge checks to close stuff, so I'm going to recharge away the Tome of Knowledge using the Throne Room's ability here. Because again, I'm just trying to find that Crown of Charisma. Didn't find it. Alright, well, let's go ahead and see what we got here. Ouch! Ah, crap. I need the magic trait. I got rid of my Amulet of Mighty Fists, and I don't have my Dagger +1, so I have to evade this thing. And now, there's always a 50% chance that that thing ends up being on top of the henchman. Oh, shit. God, that's so annoying. I don't have my thieves' tools here either. Oh, find traps. All right, that's good. Does anyone have a Blessing of the Gods? I could play this and Blessing of Shellin. You know what, though? F it. We're just going to roll. I've got decent odds of making this. That's not guaranteed by any means, and it's not that safe, but I don't want to spend a Blessing. So let's just keep exploring. Fuck! God, it's like every time it always ends up on top. Oh, my lord. Alright, let me think about this. Do I keep exploring? Yes, let's keep exploring. You have got to be effing kidding me. Wow, I wasted a lot of resources here. I think, you know what, we're done. I'll explore again, but not until, Okay, you know what? Fuck you, Shadow. You like going to the top of the deck? You like going to the top of the deck? Do you, Shadow? Do you fucking Shadow? Come on up here. Yeah! Alright, that was not a mathematically valid play because there was only 2 monsters at this location. But I just made an emotional play, and what do you know? Both fucking monsters were there. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy about that. I have a Sleep, which, let's see, it'll work against the Goblin Raiders. It won't work against the henchman that deals fire. So I could run into trouble if I find a henchman. Luckily I didn't. Alright, let's see if we can get this quarterstaff. We can. Boy, what an awkward hand here. I mean, I got a weapon and caltrops. Sure, we'll keep it. It's fine. Oh my god, that was a roller coaster of emotion. We got a ghoul here. Okay, pretty good. Pretty happy to have this Deathbane light crossbow, which gives me an extra d8 against undead, which is what this is. Question is, now, do I really want to play a blessing to explore again? I've already used 2 blessings. What am I doing on locations here? I've closed 2 of them. Boy, this... I think I should spend 1 more blessing here and then cut it at that. Slashing Blade. Fuck me and not having my, thieves' tools. Alright, I guess we're playing a blessing. And I need to roll a 7 on these 2 dice. It's a little bit risky, but I have leather armor to soak up the damage if I fail. I don't get any bonus explorations or anything, so I didn't want to go too crazy making that check. Alright, well, we gotta go. Wow. Alright, well, Harska's fine fighting ghosts. It does need a magic trait, but I do have the Deathbane crossbow, so pretty happy about that. We got 2 potions of glibness. Very interesting. So, now he could actually get rid of that throne room for me. Alright, so where's Amiri? Oh yeah, she's working on the Goblin Fortress. She still hasn't closed that, so I guess we better go back there. Acolytes. worthless, so I don't care about it. And I'm going to hang on to my Blessing of the Gods. It's a little risky not to explore, but it's also risky to spend my blessings. And what I'm going to do here is I got to think carefully. So I could pull Harsk over to the throne room to give a potion to the Mariziel, the rogue. The problem is the rogue should really come to Harsk. But no, the rogue's turn is before Harsk's turn, so yeah, there's no good way to do this. I'm just going to keep exploring the Warrens with Sela, and just hope for a lucky break that she finds, like, the henchman or the villain. Okay, wow! Alright, that is a really lucky break indeed. That's incredibly lucky. So we're lucky that the villain's in here. We're also lucky that she was on top of the monsters. So this is perfect. So now I don't have to care about the Warren's negative ability, and I can kill her at my leisure. This is really, really good. There shouldn't be anything that will disrupt that. There's no scenario powers here that cause stuff to get messed around. In fact, she probably shouldn't have gone here. She probably should have gone to the Desecrated Vault, which requires a Divine check to close. Sheriff Hemlock. If I pick them up, I actually do get to explore again. The problem is, do I really want to throw away a card to try to pick him up? I think so. I've already got Cure in hand, so even if I discard something, I can cure myself. And, yeah, it's not great odds of getting him, but it's, you know, a free bonus. And it actually did make the difference. So, basically, I spent nothing to get a free extra exploration. Shadow. Wow. Hard monsters are in full force here. Luckily, I do have a magic weapon. I don't need both potions of glibness, so we can happily recharge one. I need to roll a 7 here. That should be fine. I hope. And at the end of my turn, got a couple things to do. First of all, let's cure. Oh, a 2! A 2! You know, when a monster rolled d4 to damage me, they rolled, I think it was a 4 and then a 3. Oh, no, it was a 3 and a 3. It was both 3s. I think that's what it was. But when I need to cure myself, I roll 1s and 2s. Story of my life. Let's go ahead and recharge away one of my armors. Okay, well now I know that the henchman is that card, and that there's an elven breastplate, a flaming mace, and a crappy weapon left over. So that's good to know. Ezrin, let's think about this. He could go do this if he wanted to. He could close this place. He's got 2 spells, but I'm not really sure what the value of that is, because anyone can really do that. Let's just go him. Let's put him here. The Goblin Fortress. Guard. Alright, it doesn't give extra exploration, so I don't care about it. I'm actually going to hang on to it, though, because the Guard is not a valuable card, and I can use this to cancel the damage that Nualia deals to someone at the location when she is fought. So that might be worth holding on to. Alright, what's going on here? Alright, we got the stuff on the bottom. Right, alright, so let's just keep on going, I guess. Matic. Great. Wait a minute. Actually, Linny's at the location with me, so exploring is a little risky because I can't use my sneak attack. But then again, do I really need to use sneak attack? I've got Harsk who can help me. I've got a Blessing of Lamash too. Of course, if I explore with the Troubadour and I find the henchman, I will have a hard time closing the location. Alright, this is a little risky, but 75% chance that I don't find a henchman, and I found Eyes of the Eagle. Perception's not that valuable, so I don't really care about it. We'll just let it go. And then I'm going to pop Father Xanthus just to basically get rid of him. I rolled a 1 on the heel, so it's not even wasted. Oh, okay. We got Masterwork tools, but we did not get the Crown of Charisma. Alright, I'm going to get rid of Caltrops. I've got Sleep, so it's a bit redundant. Got a Blessing. Why don't we go to the Desecrated Vault? She is good at closing that place. I have a guard in Ezrin's hand in case she finds the fire henchman. And if worse comes to worse, she can always, you know, whip out her quarterstaff. Okay. Guess I might as well explore with it. Scorching Ray. Hey, that would be really good to pick up. So the question is, can I afford to spend a resource on it? I don't have a Blessing of Aristil, which is the top blessing. I don't have that many blessings left over, period. It would be good for Ezrin to upgrade one of his spells with this, but unfortunately I don't think I can afford to spend resources here. Luckily, we got a 6, so that's good. Sure. I'll keep exploring. Potion of Hiding. Not the most useful thing. Let's roll for it. Okay. Let's see, what's my weakest link here? It's probably the Potion of Hiding. There's no stealth checks to close this scenario. Do I want to discard Scorching Ray? I think I actually should to increase my odds of picking up blessings or useful things. Hey, got an animal. Great. Alright, we have a ghost to fight here. Should not be too much of a problem. I need to roll a 7 on 3d8. That's not a big deal. Okay. And that's a wrap. So we're getting down to the wire here. Nope, still nothing but junk here. Nothing but junk. Alright, so Amiri does not want to explore there because that is a monster. I think she'll just go here and kill whoever this henchman is. It is the nice one, Auric Van Kaskerkin. So it actually would have been good to fight him with Sela, because Sela would have had double the odds of succeeding at that charisma check, which would have been good because there is a good boon left in this location. So that's actually a little bit unfortunate that she doesn't get to be the one to fight him. I should have probably thought about that, I guess. But anyway, we kill him. And now, let's think. Do I want to spend a resource? I've only got 2 blessings left in my entire party. I don't think that's worth it. So we're just going to go ahead and roll and get really lucky. Okay, sweet. So we get to pick up either the Flame Mace +1 or the Elven Breastplate. Ah, man, I wish I knew. Hang on. I wish I knew. I can't look at my deck right now. I'm tapping it, but nothing's happening. How many non-magical weapons do I have? The problem with this Flaming Mace is it's actually kind of like, it's not even as good as a Greatsword. I mean, a Greatsword's a D12. A D12 is better than a D8 +1. But it is magic, which is good to have. Yeah, I think I'd rather have a magic weapon than, like, an armor that's just marginally better than other armors. So, we'll see. Yeah, let's encounter this. Oh, this is actually good timing, so we'll recharge the Flaming Mace. I don't really need that because I already have a magic longsword. So for this combat check, do I need to bury a card? If I fail this, it's not the end of the world. There's only 2 cards left in the garrison. But I really don't want to fail it. Let's just recharge away some thieves' tools, I guess. Because I've already encountered the barrier at the location that Harsk was at. Or was there more than one there? Okay, so we have a breastplate and a short bow in some order. And I need to move Sela away from here so she can actually use her scouting ability. Where is it most valuable? Not there. I guess we'll just go to the place that has the most cards left in it. So we'll go to where Linny's hanging out. And pull over the paladin so that she can go on her crusade. Potion of healing. Alright, pretty happy to get that thrown away. And this is a divine check, so it's actually where she wants to be. Oh, for God's sake. Alright, well, luckily I have a sage. And I can use a d6. So the question is, do I want to do anything more than this? And the answer is I'm still really low on blessings. Only 2 characters in my party are holding a blessing. So it sucks to take damage if I fail, but luckily I rolled good on that d8. So I succeed. Now we get to explore again for free. Enchanter? Oh, jeez. Unfortunately, I cannot block the damage with these armors because it's elemental damage. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, we're getting down to the wire here. There's only 10 turns left in the scenario. I might as well just use that ability pretty aggressively to make sure nothing bad happens. Luckily, it didn't make a difference there, but I have to lose my other armor now. I guess I could have considered throwing away the sword so that I could draw into my other weapons and hang on to the armor in case she fights Nualia, but that's the bet I made, and I'm lying in it now. Alright, so Ezrin at the Goblin Fortress. Is this a good place for him to be? Sure, he's got 2 combat spells, so why not? Alright. He gets the Fire Henchman, which is fine, because he's got the Amulet of Life, even if she rolls maximum damage, which of course she rolls in the upper half of the range, because it's not a Cure card. Amulet of Life blocks all of it, and I might even get to recharge it, which is fine. Okay, so the question is, which spell do I use against her? Well, I'm fighting a Goblin Raider to close the location, so I should use this against her. I need to roll a 7 on these 3 dice. Should be fine, unless I'm really unlucky. Actually, if that were reversed, if it had been like 1-1, no, I would have succeeded, even if the dice were reversed. Okay, so now we're fighting a Goblin Raider, and for this I'm probably going to have Harsk shoot an arrow. Hopefully Harsk still has one of those left to shoot. Oh, man. Oh, I forgot. The Goblin Raider's actually hard because it's a Goblin Fortress. Right. Totally forgot about that. So I should have reversed the order there. Alright, let's recharge away the armor. 6 on these 4 dice should be fine. Oh my god! That was exact. I rolled a 1 on a d12, a 1 on a d4, and a 1 on another d4. So if that third d4 hadn't come up a 3, I would have actually failed that check. That would have been so very sad. Alright, luckily we make it just on the cusp here. And we're going to get a free weapon here. I doubt I'm going to have time to get any other weapons. And it's okay, because I'm only getting one, so yeah, that works out. Quarterstaff. Fan Fiddly Two-Stick. Oh, right, I was a total waste of time pushing that button, because I already know that I cannot pick it up, and it's my turn, and anyway, so there. Okay, we got to start thinking, basically, this is these three people's second to last turn, and then everybody gets one more turn after that. So I have to start thinking about how I'm going to close out the fight here. There's no more barriers left in this location, so I should recharge away my tools, hoping to find that Crown of Charisma. Don't find it. Alright, so let me think about this. Let's take a quick look at the map. So right now, I think I should get ready to spring the trap here. Harsk held on to that potion of glibness like it was his mother, and his mother was in trouble, so he had to hold on to her to prevent her from dying. The point is, he has a potion of glibness, so he can close the throne room for me. Harsk can... Wait, no, Harsk is the one who's... If Harsk closes the throne room, then who's closing the deeper dungeons? I mean, it could be Amiri rolling 2d8, or no, a d8 and a d10. Constitution plus Berserker Rage. Not a super big fan of that. Sela could do it. She's got a d8 plus d6. Plus a blessing. Yeah, it's tricky. Who closes these locations? I mean, I guess Harsk could pass off a card to someone. The problem is they would have to be there right now, so he'd have to like do it to Linny, which I guess is fine. So maybe Linny can go. No, because if Linny goes here on her turn, so that on Harsk on his turn can give her the potion, then we have to wait until Linny's turn comes up again, which would mean it would have to be Harsk fighting the Walia, which is definitely not good. Okay, so really, the hard part is going to be making sure I can actually close all the locations. I mean, I don't have to use the potion to close the throne room. I mean, I could just have Sela come over here and do a d10 plus a d6. Or, I mean, really, Marisol could just stay here. She's got a Troubadour. She could like discard her whole hand and just try to find that Crown of Charisma, which is somewhere in here still. So I know that the Masterwork tools are on the bottom of her deck. The Tome of Knowledge is on the bottom of her deck. So unless I'm oh, and the Amulet of Fists should be at the bottom, should be below the crown. So actually, if she discards her whole hand, she should be guaranteed of picking up the Crown of Charisma. So yeah, okay, she stays here then. She doesn't need to go anywhere. Should she explore? Well, if she finds a henchman, she can close it now. I guess that's worth it. And that's what's happening. Alright, so we're doing the heavy crossbow. Gonna reveal the Sage's Journal for a bonus. Let's discard the other crossbow for maximum carnage. Okay, so this kind of sucks that she's spending a blessing, I guess, to close this place. But I guess at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. And plus, even if she fails this, yeah, if she fails this, she can just then go to the backup plan of being the temp closer for it. So yeah, that's fine. I'll just play a blessing. 3d6 for a d6 is a bit light, but more than likely. And, alright, that does it. So she's definitely not fighting any more henchmen or anything. I don't want her fighting Nualia, because she's not going to solo Nualia, I don't think. So I don't want this. And a heavy crossbow, I guess we'll hang on to. There's the Crown of Charisma. Okay. So, Linny. Is she going to fight that goblin dog? It's about the only thing she can take out here. What is she doing? I guess Linny's temp closing this desecrated vault. Is she actually going to explore again? To try to temp close it now? Yeah, sure, why not? So I guess we'll fight this dog. So let's discard quarterstaff, reveal an animal. Does Harsk shoot a thing? Well, he doesn't need this potion of glibness anymore, so he might as well, because his turn is up next. That should kill the dog. Wow. Wow. Harsk's arrow definitely made the difference on that one. And now there's a 1 in 3 chance of finding the henchman. Could she kill a henchman here? I think she could. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and crow up. And there is the henchman. Okay. So I could put this guy to sleep and stick him back on top of the deck. Or I could fight him. Let's make this fun. Actually, wait a minute. Harsk? Harsk isn't going to be fighting anything, so I don't even actually care if I recharge away his crossbow. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and reveal the tiger, discard the sleep to get a d10. I could recharge the tiger in order to get an extra d6 on this combat check. The problem with that plan, of course, is that then how am I closing the location? My divine check is d10 plus 3, so I'd have to roll a 3 on a 10. I'd have to play a blessing on that to make sure I closed it. Anybody got a blessing Agorum? Alas, they do not. So I need to roll a 7 on these dice. You know what? F it. Let's just roll. If I failed, it wasn't going to be the end of the world. She could have closed the location anyhow. But now we can auto-succeed on the temp close. My minimum roll there is 6. Okay, so, well, what does she do now? She's not needed in order to... Oh, that's cool. I get my potion of hiding back. I don't think I've done that in a while. She doesn't really need to fight. Oh god, I should have actually discarded the thieves' tools and tried to fish out more blessings. That was a mistake. She's not gonna fight anymore. Right now, everything's closed except for this place, and Harsk can close that. So what I could do is I could actually have Harsk and Amiri go here and have them both be here, so in case one of them fails the close, the other one can get it. But it's, is that really worth doing? Sela, I guess, could fight Nualia pretty well, but then who's going to be doing it along with her? Oh yeah, Ezrin isn't bad at fighting Nualia. With a little bit of help from Harsk. He can be one of the other fighters. Actually, Linny, who has an Inflict, could fight Nualia okay. She's got Inflict plus a d4 for revealing a tiger, then she can recharge the tiger. Yeah, I think Linny should be one of the people to fight. So we could do like Linny and Amiri, or Linny and Sela, or actually Linny and Ezrin. Although the casters aren't quite as reliable as the weapon fighters. Okay, so Harsk, there's a longsword here. I don't know why I'm doing this. It actually is impossible to get and irrelevant. But anyway, guess we'll just end the turn and scout. Giant Gecko, there's really no point fighting that thing. So, okay, we're going to be temp closing this place. I think Amiri makes more sense to go fight Nualia simply because Amiri is the one with an armor in hand. So we're going to have Amiri go here and then wait. I mean, I guess I could do it now, but it's a little bit foolhardy. I've got the time, so I might as well just make use of it. Let's discard Thieves' Tools, which you don't need, and keep my weapon. Get a crowbar, which is not the greatest thing I could have gotten. Sela's going to go over here to temp close as a backup for Harsk, and she will discard her weapons to try to get more blessings if she has any more. Nope. All right. And then Ezrin, he could just go. We don't have to wait for Linny to go do it. Although I think Linny actually does better at fighting Nualia than Ezrin does. So let's see. Ezrin cannot close the location. There's nothing he can really do. Does he have any cards that can help people? Strength could help Amiri, and that's it. So I guess he might as well do it. Wait. Oh, I forgot about something. Oh, there's that elven breastplate that we could have tried to pick up. Yeah, too late. It's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love. All right, so let's go ahead and just discard everything here, except for the guard. The guard is useful. I actually need the guard to protect Linny from the force damage. That was part of my plan here. Can I find strength? I can. Very good. So that helps Amiri succeed. Mariziel, I guess she can go dig for the breastplate. Although she can't get it, can she? I think her constitution sucks too much. Anyway, she found the short bow, not the breastplate, and she can't explore again. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of all this stuff. See if she can find a blessing. I need to make sure I don't draw too much. But yeah, she should be fine. Alright, got both blessings. Okay, so now Linny goes over to the Warrens. And it's time to fight. So we put a random monster on top of the, whatever that place is called, Desecrated Dungeon or whatever, but it doesn't make a difference. Deeper Dungeon maybe, because we're going to temp close and end this right here. So here comes the sun. Who do I go first? My main closer or my backup closer? Let's do the backup closer first, just to see if she can get lucky. So we're going to do Constitution, discard a card. Should I spend a blessing on this? No, I'm just doing this to see if I can get lucky, and then we're going to spend the blessings on Harsk. And we actually do get lucky, so that's great. Okay, so that's closed, and now we fight. Let's definitely encounter this villain and take some damage. So Linny takes 2. I would rather not discard any of my cards because they're all useful. So, Azrin, let's banish that guard, send him over there to protect the Valiant Gnome. And then Amiri has armor, good old leather armor. Even when it's magic, it's still pretty crappy, but it's enough to get rid of all that damage. Okay, so now, who takes the bigger check? I think Linny should probably take the smaller check. Yeah, because Amiri's going to have strength helping her out. So we're going to do a lot of stuff here. Going to play Inflict, going to reveal the tiger, going to recharge the tiger, going to get an arrow, and let's think. I need a 7 on these dice. Might as well be safe. Let's discard that thing for an extra d4 plus 1, and this is a guaranteed success now. I don't know why I'm recharging Inflict. It doesn't actually matter at all. And now Amiri's turn to go. Let's pass off the check to her. Boop. So we're going to discard the sword, rage against the machine, shoot an arrow. Let's think. Linny can play aid. Ezrin can play strength. And we have an auto success without having to play any blessings. Nice. So we kill the villain. And that was that. So, weirdly, the first few scenarios in this adventure were actually harder than the last few, so far anyway. We close out the chapter in high style, so thanks to Amiri's movement and Sela's scouting ability, we were able to find the villain and have a nice, secure victory. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe if you did. And if you want to stick around, let's go ahead and do our rewards. So, I want to talk a little bit, because there is a difference here between how this is done and how it's done in the regular game. So the adventure reward is a card feat, but the scenario reward is loot, and it's 1 card of loot. It's the Sahedron Medallion. So if you're playing the physical game, no matter how big your party is, whether it's 1 person or 6, all you get as a reward is 1 card, the Sahedron Medallion, for the scenario. Then, for the adventure, you get a card feat for everybody, so it's fine, but it's still kind of lame that you just get 1 piece of loot. So in the digital version, again, I believe this is designer sanctioned, the makers of the game, Obsidian, decided to give 1 person the loot card, the Sahedron Medallion, and then everybody else gets some other good card. So it's not random stuff here. It's like something that's good for your character, like a Bastard Sword plus 1 for Amiri, like definitely solid. So this is like pre-programmed. I don't know exactly how they chose it. Hey, there's that breastplate that I wanted. But you get something good for your character if you're not the person getting the loot. So Ezrin gets the medallion, which is pretty good. It's like an Amulet of Life, but it blocks 4 damage rather than 3. And then everybody else gets some good stuff. So Dagger plus 1, very happy to pick that up. I like that because, you know, you play in an adventure and, you know, there's good cards in the deck, and if you never pick them up, it feels kind of sad. So I like that there's like an extra chance to pick up some of the better cards in the box through this alternate loot system. And we got a blessing, which isn't the most exciting thing, but whatever. So now we got to do card feats. This is, in my opinion, the most interesting feat type. It's not necessarily the strongest. I think I'm generally more excited about power and skill feats than card feats. But it is the most interesting because you really have to, it's more of an art than a science. For power feats and skill feats, you can pretty much decide what you're going to take and what order you're going to take it in the moment that you make your party back in Brigand Doom. But card feats, you kind of have to look at the situation. One thing I kind of wish is that the game would let you see your deck while making this choice, because I think that's a big factor. So I hope that in the future they let you do that. Basically, what you want to do is you want to think about what cards you want. But on top of that, you should also think about what cards you're running out of slots for. So for example, if, you know, you already have lots and lots of good items, and there's pretty much no chaff left in your item slots, then somebody should take items so that if more good items are found, you have room to take them. Same thing for, you know, spells. If you're running out of slots for good spells, then you should take some spells so that you can fit in the good spells that you find. Let's go ahead and work through the characters, starting with Amiri. So, I don't feel the need to take weapon. doesn't really add that much. Once I find a weapon, I'm good, and I'm guaranteed to start the game with one. So for Amiri, what I'm looking at mainly is items if we're running out of item slots, but allies and blessings otherwise, because as you've seen, I do tend to run low on blessings, and in a big player group, just simply taking a blessing isn't the end of the world. I mean, it's actually pretty good. You get an extra exploration in your deck and an extra helping card for tough situations. And if you don't need anything else, which I currently don't, then that's just a solid choice. For Sela, I'm going to make the same choice. For her, blessings are extra valuable because, of course, it increases the concentration of blessings in her deck, making it more likely that when she uses her hero power, the card won't be discarded. Ezreal, I mean, you're probably never going to take weapon or armor, and you can't take blessings, so it's just spell, item, and ally. Right now, we got so many shitty items floating around, I just really don't see the need for anyone to take item slots. Allies would be good for extra explorations, but we're running out of spell slots, and there's some good spells in Adventure deck too, so I'm definitely taking spell for him. For Maurizio, a lot of people like to jump on weapon because they think, oh, well, her favorite card type is weapon, her favorite card type is not weapon, but she needs weapons. I don't really see it that way. I would rather take either ally or blessing, just for extra explorations here. I feel like she's fine without a weapon. She can discard a card, and Harsk can shoot an arrow. It's not the end of the world. And we definitely aren't at the point yet where we need more item cards. So ally or blessing is what I'm going to do, and I think we'll just take a blessing here. For Linne, it's a really tough choice. She wants more spell slots, but getting extra allies is good. The thing is, I can't remember if I picked up any allies in this scenario. If I did pick up a human ally at any point, then she's going to be forced to keep that ally. She's not going to be able to go back to the box. And this is why it's good in a large game for somebody other than Linne to hold on to an animal. That way they can pass Linne the animal if she takes the ally card feat. And that way she's not forced to take a non-animal ally. So we found the mayor and picked her up and then banished her. And then we found a guard and then banished him. Did I find any other human allies in this scenario? I don't think I did, so I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna get ally. This is really good for her. It's an extra exploration, and of course, the more animals that she has in her deck, the more that she can spend her animals to explore and feel comfortable that she'll find an animal soon. And for Harsk, again, I'm just gonna take a blessing. Ally is better than blessing if you have a lot of fancy allies and you want room for like more of the special allies. But right now, we're still trotting around with sages and troubadours. I'm just not that concerned about running out of ally slots, and blessings are better than allies in the long run. Because a blessing like an ally can be used to explore, but blessings can also be used to help on checks. So it might seem like a little bit simplistic here. All I did was just take a bunch of blessings, and I think Ezreal took a spell. But I think given that I'm not running out of item slots or ally slots, I feel like I'm pretty solid just taking some blessings. Okay, so here we have a bit of a difficult situation with these weapons. Definitely don't want the Warhammers. That's an easy replacement. Put a Flaming Mace in there. The question is, can we fit in this Bastard Sword +1? Either I get rid of one of these long spears, or I get rid of the longsword +1. I'll get rid of a long spear. I feel like even though the reroll is really good, just a plain old reveal for a D8 is getting a little bit weak at this point, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, Moment of Truth. Linne needs an ally. Does somebody have an extra ally that she's going to be forced to take? Oh, no! I forgot about Sheriff Hemlock! Oh, fuck. Well, alright, she's getting Sheriff Hemlock. So she has a non-animal ally, which is dangerous. But that's going to be a priority at some point in the future. We got to find an animal to give to Linne. In the meantime, yeah, she's just in a little bit of a tight spot. Okay, so that's it for Amiri. Sela has a bunch of extra armor now. We can get rid of the superior half-plate, so all of her armor is magical now. That's nice. Ezreal. Sahedron Medallion. Okay, let's talk about this thing, guys. So, I've played the game before, and after a certain point, people are like, you never really take damage. And I remember in one game, I was playing with my girlfriend, I threw this thing away at some point, and then by the end of the adventure, I deeply regretted it. So hang on to your Sahedron Medallions, people. Hang on to those things. So the question is, who's going to take it? I think Maurizio just has a bunch of shit. We just need to get rid of some of the crap here. I don't think I really ever use that crowbar, so we'll get rid of that. Linne, I wouldn't mind giving something like that at some point as well, but she'll be fine for now. She has some extra blessings here. Let's get rid of those. Give them to those in need. What else does Ezreal have to do? Oh, he's got to get rid of a quarterstaff. Okay. The rogue has some Junkosaurus Rexes. Very good. Let's get rid of them. And she needs a blessing. And Linne, let's Let's see, she's got too many spells. Oh yeah, she's got Scorching Ray and Agility. Ezrin will be very happy to pick these things up from her. So let's get rid of a Force Missile and put in a Scorching Ray. Actually, I think I found that, didn't I? Hang on a second. So I need to put in Agility. It's a really good card. I enjoy having it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 combat spells and an invisibility. Do I get rid of a combat spell for Agility? Yeah, we'll do it. I like having 4 plus invisibility. It seems like a good number. Especially soon we're getting a power feat and I'll be increasing my hand size. Is there an extra blessing for Amiri? There is not. Let's do a quick view all to make sure I haven't forgotten anything important. Magic Shield, do not want. Potion of Hiding, nope. Lightning Touch, nope. Bunch of crappy weapons, and okay. So Amiri gets another Blessing of the Gods, and that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and stay tuned for the Skinsaw Murders Undead Uprising coming up next. Take care, guys.